absolutely unbelievable for this second-generation driver. His dad, Ken, was a driver. Let's show you how he got it done. We thought this was going to be, about a 3.5-hour race today. We had no rain as the green flag waved, and we set this thing up by practice speeds, and that put Carl Edwards on the pole position.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying we don't understand this, but Kyle, this rule has been into effect for a couple years.
Yeah, and it's a good rule. They go out, and these guys were counting on rain. I'm telling you, they went out and practiced hard in qualifying.
Here we go. David, no, it wasn't David. That was
Travis Kvapil.
Yeah,
yes.
Travis Kvapil gets into Dale Jr. in the left rear. And this causes a lot of problems for Dale Jr. because he has to make an unscheduled pit stop. So we're thinking, oh, he's in trouble early. But Kyle, he overcomes it.
Yeah, they come back. You know, they just got together there early, Travis Kvapil and those guys. Rubbed the left rear tire, but it hurt the fender, which hurts the aero more than anything.
One of our last great upset winners in NASCAR, Trevor Bayne, blew up the engine of the number 21 on lap 23.
As Jake Elder used to say, done blowed up. And I'm going to tell you what, like Days of Thunder, this is Danica Patrick. Don't you know she's thinking, I'm going to wreck, and then look, she's good to go.
And this was the move that everybody was talking about leading into this race. Brian Vickers waiting in the wings as Denny Hamlin came in after his return to the cockpit. Watch the precision with which they make this driver swap.
Yeah, and they had practiced this during the week, so let's be clear. They got this down to just around a minute. You see Denny come out the roof hatch as you see Brian Vickers go in. And Brian, as I said earlier on race day, Brian's an expert at this. He does a lot of road racing, and they do a lot of driver changes.
And the roof hatch is legal. It's in the rule book.
All right, the first big one, lap 43, and it was a little bit of deja vu back to Daytona when the number 5 car of Casey Kane was run into by the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Yeah, and he really was. And I think if Kyle had to do this again, he would be a little bit more patient at this time. And we'll hear a little later Kyle say it's my fault. You see, the 5 car never changed lanes. The 18 was looking to the inside, looked to the outside, and when he come up back, he just barely hooked the right rear, and all these guys had no place to go.
Let's take a look at the run Danica Patrick made to once again avoid disaster.
Yeah, you know, when these wrecks start, they never finish, and the wreck is almost over until Danica Patrick.
Back to 3 wide bottom. Caution's out. Go to the bottom. Go to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. All the way. Stop. Right here. Watch right in front of you. I can't see.
Well, that was Danica Patrick's radio while it was all going on. Let's now check in with Kyle Busch and hear what he had to say after all the wrecking was over with, and also his day was done as well.
Yeah, I'm all right, and I caused it.
So there you heard it from Kyle Busch himself. That's what happens in plate racing, but this one was pretty bad and pretty costly for a lot of good drivers.
For a lot of good teams, and you heard Kyle in his voice, the dejection. I caused it, and he did, and he admits to it. But, you know, I think, again, if he had been a little bit more patient at this point in time in the race, this is early in the race, it took out a lot of really good cars, a lot of contenders.
Rookie Ricky Stenhouse then made the move on the outside of jump number 48, Jimmie Johnson, to take the lead.
And the importance of this highlight is the crew members are saying, the rain is coming. We feel it sprinkling. And check this out. His own teammate says, I'm going to get the lead from you. And right there, they throw the caution flag. So this was big.
Carl and crew chief Jimmy Fennig had a plan. This rain came out, and it was a long rain delay. Many thought that this was going to be the race, and it was going to be Carl Edwards, including Mr. Fennig himself.
Yeah, and they had put themselves in the proper position to take advantage of the circumstance. And when they waited and they waited. At 3.5 hours is a long time to think you've won a race, only to have to throw the green flag again right here.
Great job by the Air Titan to drive this racetrack in pretty quick time, and we got back out after a 3 hour and 46-minute rain delay.
We are so easy to criticize NASCAR, but great job. They worked hard. They got this racing. But Cal, we still got about 60 laps to go, but they're running like there's 10 to go on the restart.
Yeah, I think these guys, when they dropped the green flag, they weren't sure when the next rain was going to come. So they ran these last 60-some laps like it was a 25-lap heat race at your local track.
This rain was a mystery today. The showers were popping up all over the place, so you never knew what was going to happen in the skies or on the racetrack. Look at the job by Matt Kenseth at the front of the pack.
Yeah, Matt is taking, he's pulling everybody along. He's like, I want to stay in the lead, Kyle.
Yeah, and you saw him breaking the draft, trying to weave. Then the green flag stops coming. And you see right here, you see the 20 car, but you see the 17 on the outside and the 56 on the inside. These two guys were penalized here for too fast on pit road, but these guys knew that this was a critical stop at this juncture in the race.
And, you know, I want to congratulate Michael Waltrip. He only runs a couple times a year. In the red and white car, Michael Waltrip, top 5 all day long. He gets in like he's been doing this well, like he has 1,000 races.
Michael McDowell, the number 98 car, he hit the wall with 15 laps to go, and that changed everything.
Yeah, that totally changed everybody's strategy, totally changed the race. And when you get to that point, you see the 48 car with his hand out the window right there. Come on, push me, push me. It's time to go, because they knew they had to make something happen here.
It was go time, and we saw some big ones earlier in this race, but you know what? The excitement was still to come. Take a look at the top of your screen. Ricky Stenhouse tries to go to the outside.
Ricky just shocks J.J. Yeley. He gets over there, but the whole time he does it, he's rubbing on the rear of J.J. Yeley. So when we take another look at this, you can tell he's getting J.J. a little squirrely, and here we go. Watch the red and white car. See, he's hitting him now. He's hitting him now. The air's moving him around, and Kyle, he hooks him.
He hooks him just enough, and really Stenhouse tried to make a hole that wasn't there. But I want you to watch this 78 car. This absolutely saved him right there. That car could have been really ugly right there.
Amazing views of all that carnage on the racetrack. You see Danica Patrick there on the racetrack, and now behind the wall. Danica was obviously angry, but she had a great run going and a great chance to get a good finish. Here we go to the green-white checkered finish. The rain was falling down. The sun had already gone down. It was a lot darker than it looked on TV, and this was one of the most exciting finishes we have seen in a long time.
Now, mind you, where is David Ragan? There he is, he's about 6 rows back with 2 to go.
Yeah, this is amazing the way these guys put themselves in position. David and those guys, the 20 car of Matt Kenseth and the 99, he's looking in the mirror, the 20 car is looking ahead. They never see the 34 and the 38 coming.
And let's be clear about this. The middle lane won the race.
Yeah, and David Ragan does a tremendous job here. He gets pushed to the front, and watch as he comes out. He moves to the outside to block the 99 car. Make sure he's blocked, goes back to the inside, and look how big a gap he puts in these guys. And David Gilliland, I'm telling you, this was a team effort. We talk team racing, that was a team effort, those two guys, to put that team in victory lane.
A huge win for David Ragan, his second on the restrictor plate track, his second career win. Let's take a look at the results of some of the guys who finished up front, and it is not your usual suspects.
Kyle Petty, can you imagine the check that car owner is going to get first and second?
Incredible. But how about Michael Waltrip? Comes from 13 to 4th there at the end. Eric Almirola with another top 10 finish, keeps his streak alive. And the guys we thought were going to win, the 48, the 20 car, the 99, those guys, 3rd, 5th, and 7th.
Scott Speed, 9th.
Scott Speed, great race.